Hello, I'm Scott Patrick in the Dish Studio. Sweetbitter is the latest series on Starz, and it combines the flavors of drama, comedy, romance, coming of age, all set in the heat and high pressure of the restaurant kitchens of New York City. What could possibly go wrong? Sweetbitter is all new Sunday nights beginning May 6th.
$7.
Seems like a lot to get in.
New York, I love you, but you're bringing me down.
Everyone was new once. Don't get overwhelmed. You just need to pay attention.
Water needs ice.
Water 24.
Faster.
Restock.
Soup spoon 27?
You know nothing about service.
Howard did not just give you a job. He invited you to train.
You know nothing about wine.
It's not a shot.
Well, what do you want to be?
I don't know.
We talked to the star and the creators of Sweetbitter, and I'll take you there in just a moment. But first, let's make sure you have Starz, and if you do, you're getting the most from it. Dish customers, you get 8 channels in the Starz package, plus you can watch Starz originals like Outlander, Counterpart, and Power. Go to your on-demand menu or check out channel 350 if you have the Hopper. And you can watch Starz programming on your computer, tablet, or smartphone with Dish Anywhere and the Starz app. It's so easy to add Starz. Just give us a call right now at 1-844-326-9828. That's 1-844-326-9828. Or check it out at mydish.com/stars. Our Jessica York sat down with the creators of Sweetbitter and actress Ella Purnell, who plays the lead role of Tess. Ella is best known for her film roles, including Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children.
How did you?
It's my peculiarity. If I show you the rest, you have to promise not to run away.
It's so great. We've watched you kind of grow up on film, and now we see this coming of age next chapter of your life, sort of like a Sex in the City meets Chef. What was this experience like for you?
Insane. It was crazy. Obviously, it happened really fast, and I really did not think I was going to get the role. I was really unprepared for it. I was going to take some time off and like figure myself out and like maybe do some writing. And then this thing came in, and I felt a little lost and wanted some time. And then this thing came in, and I think the first line of the character breakdown was, "Tess's life is a shambles." And I was like, yeah. She figures things out. That's what I most related to about her, was that she unashamedly was like, I haven't figured it out yet, and that's okay. I've never related to a character quite as hard as I have with Tess, and I really feel like our journeys were the same.
Interesting. Well, then this might actually be a weird follow-up question, but in the book, Tess isn't necessarily a likable character. So how was that played out on the small screen?
I'm glad you asked, because it was like the first thing me and Steph said when we went for the coffee before we started filming, was we were talking about, does she have to be likable? We don't see a lot of stuff with girls in, obviously, with females in as leads. And if they do, they're usually categorized into either Wonder Woman and cutthroat and businesslike and probably has a gun, or being really likable and cute and good, I guess, or naive. That's the other one. So I wanted her to be somewhere in between, but not having to apologize for not being perfect and still figuring it out. 21's weird, she doesn't know who she is. And she doesn't, her moral compass, I think, gets a little skewed as the introduction of drugs and alcohol and sex comes into it, which is, I think she's quite limited with her experience of those things up until she comes to New York.
Interesting, yeah, and I feel like it's also creates a more relatable character.
Yeah, completely.
There's some flaws.
Completely. And nobody's perfect. People can make mistakes. It just so happens that hers have bigger consequences. But it's something that I really like about her as well, is that she is so many things. She's somewhat of a blank slate. She's a follower, but she doesn't let people push her around. She's not a pushover. And she is, quiet and she observes, but she'll stand up for things if she needs to, and she's brave and intelligent, doesn't know how to articulate herself, and she's like halfway to becoming a person, but she hasn't found her thing yet. Which I think a lot of people, 21's a weird age, and everybody goes through that.
49% of this job anyone can do. You study the menu, the ingredients, their sources, table numbers and positions. They're in the manual. You learn it, you love it. This is pickup station, bread drawer, hot line, cold line, pastry, that's the meat locker. There's a dead pig in there, just FYI. This is butcher.
You bring so much to the character, but one of the things that you bring is the fact that you are 21 and you just moved to New York for the first time. So you're kind of going through the same things that Tess is going through.
Like, we're all terrified. We don't know what's going on. Like, we're either going into uni and scrambling around for, like, an idea of what we want to do when we come out, or we're coming out and just, like, moving back in with our parents going, like, what? It's hard.
I bet, yeah. I thought maybe you were referencing it's terrifying because you're playing something that was set in 2006 and you don't have the same technology. You don't have, like, a GPS in your phone or a camera.
Yeah, I know. That's a really good point as well. And also, for me, I had to speak to people about it because I don't know what it was like then, because I was 9. But having spoken to people about it, you know, I grew up in a completely different world with social media and everything, and you feel lonelier, I suppose, moving to a city because you can't just like jump onto Tinder and get a date. You have to actually go and meet people and spend time with them and socialize and talk. And I guess they also see you for who you really are rather than your online persona.
Yeah, it's funny to think of all the technology things that we have that we've created in the last 11 years. Like, that was the one thing that struck me. I'm like, wow, it's still set in 2006.
Yeah.
That's really interesting.
Flip phones.
Right? Yeah. Like, you actually had to use a map to get places.
Yeah, you just print out like a big list of restaurants and go and find a job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One last thing, what would you tell somebody to get them to watch Sweetbitter?
It's a sensory overload of everything. It's taste, it's food, it's wine, it's smell, it's love, it's lust. You'll either love or you'll hate Tess. It'll make you change your mind about things and raise questions.
It's always good when a program makes you think.
It does make you think. Because it's real. I don't think there's anything else out there like it. It'll either bring back loads of memories or make you want to move to New York and start your life over.
I love it. So good to see you. I'm excited to see you in this.
Yeah. I'm excited for it to come out. That woman is lonely.
Do you know something about being lonely?
You don't know me.
I know a little. You took this job because you thought it would be easy. Fast money, safe place to wait. You have gotten by on your charm for so long that you haven't developed a character.
What a fun ride this must be for you. I mean, when you were writing Sweetbitter, did you expect it to go to a series on Starz?
Oh my God. I didn't expect it to be published, so we'll start there. So I certainly was not thinking that I would be here with you.
I tried to explain to her, you know, when we very first sat down, I tried to explain, someday, like, we will walk out of our office to a set where there'll be like 200 people working, doing all these different things, like bringing your entire thing to life. And she was kind of like,
I didn't believe him.
nah, it won't happen.
And how does it feel? Because for a long time, you partly lived some of this. It was loosely autobiographical. But in writing it, you have a whole world in your head. Seeing it now play out on screen, do those worlds marry each other, or do they become totally different entities?
The project is a totally different project. Like, I don't feel like the show and the book are the same, come from the same creative wellspring within me, but the show looks like the book. And that feels like a miracle. To answer your original question, it feels like a miracle that so many people came together and were able to execute this, and that we stayed faithful to the integrity of the book somehow through it all. Making compromises left and right, of course, but the essence was intact.
What was the choice to keep it based in 2006? Because as I was reading, I was like, okay, 2006, that was my first full year in LA. I might have still had a flip phone. There was zero social media. So it's like, it's a totally different world now. What was the thought to keep it in 2006?
I don't think the show could exist in 2018. I mean, I think it's a very specific journey. This story is about a girl, you know, who comes to New York and has to live the actual experience of the sensory experience, right? This journey of discovery. in 2018, we don't experience anything that way anymore. If she were coming to New York, she would have Googled every restaurant. She'd be following things on Instagram. She would be fans of certain chefs and foods and all that. And the other big part of that is that it's very important in the show that when Tess first comes to New York, she's alone, right? It's a scary thing to be alone in New York. We have a scene early in episode 1 where she's sitting on a blow-up mattress, eating a banana, drinking a beer, and she's alone. If that were 2018, she'd be on that mattress, on her phone, checking whatever, Twitter, whatever.
Still alone.
Still alone,
on her phone.
but connected to an entire world, and she wouldn't feel as alone.
What's the rest of it?
The rest of what?
The job. You said all this is 49%?
51%. Taking care of people. That's the hard part.
When you first launched the book, I think that was the first wave of success. How did that feel for you? And are you ready for the next wave that comes with having a TV show like this?
That first wave of the book finding its readers was the most humbling. I'm like getting a little teary even thinking about it. It was such an incredible experience, and it went so far beyond anyone's expectations. So far that we are now here. And I know from that experience that you can't anticipate anything, you can't expect anything. You have to be in the moment as much as possible and make sure that you are working with people you enjoy being around, because the success or the failure, it comes and it goes. But we had a really great time working together. So I'm happy, and I'm ready for whatever's next.
And what about you? What drew you to this project? What made you say, yes, I'd like to do Sweetbitter?
I remember getting the book and thinking, oh, restaurant show, people have tried this. And what I really loved about it was it spoke to a time in life that we can all relate to, which is like that time before you know what you want to be. That time when you're waiting for your life to start. And I really love this notion of a young girl coming to New York and sort of trying to find a job where she can wait until she can figure out what she wants to do.
So metaphoric.
Well, but in the process of it, while she's waiting, her life is starting, and these people and this world and the discovery, the sensory discovery of this world is impacting her and beginning to forge an identity.
You are phenomenally beautiful. Why didn't you put yourself in as lead? What was your thought process in casting Ella?
I love you for saying that. Never in a million years. I'm also like 12 years older than the character that I'm writing about, and that was one of the many incredible things about Ella is she is actually 21 years old.
Yeah.
She is going through these experiences as her firsts. It was her first time living in New York City, her first time on a television show, her first time in a production this big. She is the real deal.
When you make a show and you put it on its feet and you bring it to life, you need to sort of really have an open mind. And when we saw Ella and we saw her eyes, the character is an observational character, and we want to tell so much of the show through her eyes. And when we saw her and her eyes, like we just felt like we could reflect the whole world in them.
Interesting. They're not just so big and beautiful, they're so expressive.
They are.
They make the show.
Yeah.
You'll see. I'm excited for you to see.
New York, I love you, but you're freaking me out.
Simone's a lot of things. She's not your friend.
New York is never a mistake. Jake, however, is.
Is this what you wanted? May I kiss you?
It's quite sweet. Sweet, sour, salty, bitter.
You can taste the Starz series Sweetbitter Sunday nights beginning May 6th. Dish customers get 8 channels in the Starz package, plus you can watch Starz originals like Outlander, Counterpart, and Power. Go to your on-demand menu or check out channel 350 if you have the Hopper. And you can watch Starz programming on your computer, tablet, or smartphone with Dish Anywhere and the Starz app. It's so easy to add Starz. Just give us a call at 1-844-326-9828. That's 1-844-326-9828. Or check it out at mydish.com/stars. My thanks to the team from Sweetbitter. Don't miss this tasty new series, Sunday nights, only on Starz. In the Dish Studio, I'm Scott Patrick.